Oh, here we go. Good. What's going on, nerds around the world? Welcome to episode 174 of the Nerds Unite as One podcast. I am your host, Paul English. And in the first of what we have a series of five planned episodes for you, we are going to be revisiting an old topic that we did many years ago and counting down our top 10 greatest films ever seen lists. Been several years since we did this. We want to see if our lists have changed, our tastes have changed. That's what we're going to do. So joining me for this is the regular crew of Mike and Jack that you know and love so well. What's going on, boys?
Hi, great to be here.
Not much.
And oh my goodness gracious, who's that? Could it be the mythic man himself, our one and only founder? It's Caleb Tufts. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be back. It's been way too long. Very excited. I've had a lot go on in my life, but honey, hold on, baby. Okay, I'll do something. I'm very excited to get back. Super excited to start getting back on it. So yeah, I'm ready to go, man.
All right. So in addition to this being Caleb's comeback episode, well, the series being Caleb's comeback, as I made allude to several episodes ago, these are my final 5 episodes, and we're gonna make them count with this. So we are gonna be doing a series of interrogation episodes with counting down our top 10 greatest films ever seen. These are going to be picks 10 through 9 on our list. You know how interrogations work, so let's jump right into it. We'll start with the usual routine. Mike, what are your 10 through 9 picks?
My number 10 is Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie. And my number 9 pick is Captain America, Civil War.
All right. Jack, what's your 10 and 9 pick?
My 10 and 9 pick is Sicario and Wind River.
In that order?
Yeah.
All right. Caleb, what are your 10 through 9 picks?
Okay, Paul. Thank you. All right. So my number 10, geez, Star Wars Episode 6: Return of the Jedi, and number 9 is Wreck-It Ralph.
All right. And my number 10 is Batman Mask of the Phantasm. And my number 9 is Titanic.
Okay.
So, Jack, we're going to start with you on this one. You're on the hot seat first. And Mike, I'm going to let you go first. What is your first question for Jack regarding his number 10 pick?
Okay, so we're just doing number 10. So your number 10 was Sicario, right?
Yes.
All right. So
I thought number 10 was Wind River.
No,
Yeah.
number 9 is Wind River.
How you said it in the chat, Jack, you put Wind River at higher, but yeah.
Oh, I did it.
Yeah. Okay, so number 10 is Sicario. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, what's your first question for Jack, Mike?
all right. So what is it that makes this one on your list?
The filmmaking is great. The story is really interesting about the drug cartels. And Emily Blunt and Josh Brolin's acting incredible in this movie.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So, Jack, my first question this is, I had to look this up because I'd heard of the movie, but I didn't, I never watched it, so I had to look it up. What was it about this movie that drew you to it?
I like action movies, and I like Emily Blunt. So that's two of the things that drew me to see this movie.
Okay. And all right, Caleb, what's your first question?
Okay. I was curious. So I haven't seen the movie, but if you could pull out like one scene, can you give me like a 20-second description of what's your favorite scene?
It's been a while, but there's a lot of violence in the movie, so I can't think of one, but just a lot of hardcore violence and mysteries.
Okay, cool.
All right, Mike, your second and last question.
It's kind of a two-part one. Was this kind of your first Denis Villeneuve movie you've seen, and would your love for it kind of make you go see some more of his movies?
I believe I can't remember the release order, if this or Blade Runner came out first,
I think this one came out first.
but I believe would be my first Villeneuve movie.
All
And
right.
yeah,
Sorry,
I've
go.
seen more of his movies, and I look forward to seeing Dune.
All right, Jack. My last question is this: is and I apologize for the generic nature of it, but was there anything about this film that you did not like?
Not really. I mean, I'm not talking about the sequel here. If there was, thered be a bunch of stuff I would talk about.
Okay.
All right, Caleb. What's your last question for Jack on this one?
Okay, so my other question, you already answered, Jack. So I'll just try to change it up. Who is your and I probably already know the answer to this, but who is your favorite character in the movie?
Emily Blunt.
That's what I thought. I figured, but
All right, Jack. You're off the hot seat for now, but you'll be back on it later. All right, Mike. I'm going to put you on now. So your number 10 pick was Mystery Science Theater 3000. And Jack, I'm going to let you kick this one off. So what is your first question for Mike?
Why is this your favorite of the Mystery Science Theater gang?
Well, I mean, other than the fact that this is my all-time favorite TV series, but it was just no, actually, that is the reason. It is because it's my all-time favorite TV series. It's a movie version of it, so yeah.
All right, Caleb, what's your first question?
Yeah, again, my first question was really generic, but it was just why does this make your top 10 over other films?
Maybe because this movie, it's a very simple premise, and it does it just so brilliantly well. It's got some of the funniest joke writing in any movie this side of Mel Brooks. So, yeah, it's brilliantly written. It's funny as hell, and it's a very simple premise, and it does it really, really well. So, it doesn't try to be more than what it is.
Okay. So, I guess my first question for you, Mike, is I mean, I've admittedly only seen bits and pieces of MSTK 3000 because my dad is such a huge fan of it.
Good man.
Well, you might differ because he didn't like the new series, but anyway.
Daddy, I know the guitar. I want to go to the show.
Like I said, I've seen some bits of it. So, and it's basically revolved for them reviewing sad sci-fi movies. So, what makes this a movie when you can arguably say that pretty much every episode of the show is a movie, considering they're reviewing movies?
Well, I mean, it was shown in theaters, so officially theatrically. It's their only theatrical release. There's some, I guess, like visually, it looks a lot different than the TV series. I mean, TV series, it's one camera on each set, and that's pretty much it. Here, they were doing camera movements. They were showing different portions of the set of the Satellite of Love. So they definitely used I'm not going to say it has a much bigger budget because it still looks like exactly what it is. It didn't try to be more high definition or whatever, but they definitely had a larger budget to do different things that they usually do.
Okay. All right. Jack, your other question from Mike on this one.
Yeah, what is your favorite joke from the movie?
There's so many great jokes.
Yeah, good question, Jack.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike's got to think. He's like, damn. Oh.
Yeah. I get the one joke that's. I mean, I could list off tons of jokes, but the first one that's coming into my mind is they're trying to escape from the planet, whatever. And they're stopped by the mutant, which you've seen is like the big thing with a big brain outside. It's like a planet that claws brands. And just the hero starts beating on its head with a metal pipe. And they go, "Oh, I'm very vulnerable there. Oh, just forgot my dancing lessons. Oh, I can't remember my dad."
Okay. Fair enough.
All right. Caleb, what's your other question?
So my other question, again, I'm very generic tonight, apparently. I didn't really know much about this, Mike. So give me me and like our audience like 20 seconds and just kind of give me like a short synopsis, of it. Just because I'm really not familiar with it. So
simple enough. A guy gets sent into space by evil scientists, and they force him to watch bad movies and hoping to drive him mad, and then they'll unleash those movies on the invading populace. And their lackey's only method of defense is to make fun of the movies with his robot companions.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
All right. So Mike, my second other question would be, I mean, you've talked all the time about how much love you have for this franchise and obviously this movie too, but I'm going to twist your arm a little bit. Was there anything about this film that you said that didn't hit?
One thing that kind of stands out is that they were forced by the studio to cut down the movie significantly. I mean, the Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie in its entirety with all the host segments, is only, I want to say, like 71, 72 minutes long. So it's only a little over an hour. And This Island Earth itself as a movie is like an hour and a half. So they had to cut down the movie significantly. It wasn't by choice. They were forced by the studio, but I was like, I would have liked to see them do the whole movie. It would have been, I mean, they were just so funny with it, and they were forced to change some jokes that I think they could have gotten away with.
Okay.
All right, Mike, you're off the hot seat for now. You'll be back on it later, but in the meantime, it's Caleb's turn to jump on. And, if I recall correct, if I'm thinking right, Caleb, I think this is actually your first interrogation episode. I don't think you've done one of these before.
Yeah, it's been, yeah. So, yeah.
So, all right. So you're on the hot seat, quite possibly the first time. Don't worry. We'll go easy. We'll probably go easy on you this time, but
let's
don't expect that in the future. All right. So I'll actually start. I'm actually going to start this one, and your number 10 is Star Wars 6: Return of the Jedi. Now, I imagine it's not your favorite Star Wars movie. I think I know what it is. But I know that among the original trilogy, it's widely considered by many to be the weakest of them. I don't agree. In fact, I think it's my personal favorite of the trilogy. But why does it rank so high on your list?
So my number 10 spot, I really struggled. Like I would say 10 and 9, I really struggled. Like 1 through 8, I was pretty solid on. These two I really struggled, and I sat back and I went through the Rolodex of like movies I've seen in my life and be like, well, what movie? If I had to sit here and say, man, I would watch, like this one over this one, and it honestly came down, because I asked you guys, is it one per franchise? Because again, some franchises I just love so much, and Star Wars is one of them. And obviously, Empire's on my list, much higher, obviously. But I love this movie. I love this movie a lot, and it really came down to this or Star Wars, not A New Hope, just Star Wars. And it's I struggle, but as you guys know in the past, I said that 4 slightly overrated, so that's why I went with 6. Even with the Ewoks, I still love them. So I just sat there and I was like, yeah, it was kind of one of those things where I felt like if I had to watch this over anything, over all the other ones that I was considering, so it was really tough though. This is a really hard list to make. So,
all right, Jack, I'll come to you next. What is your first question for Caleb?
What is your favorite scene from the movie?
Oof! Wow. Oh man. Honestly, and again, if you haven't seen Return of the Jedi, it's just weird. But probably when Vader saves his son, as Palpatine is shocking with the Force lightning, and Vader throws him down, and he says that dumbass line that no. That doesn't exist in the original cut. That never existed. So I'm just gonna act like that doesn't exist. But when he saves his son, and being a father myself now, it like watching it now, it just hits home even more, Or I could say like the whole scene, because when they light their lightsabers in front of Palpatine, and all you see is red and green just crossing in front. Oh, mwah, love it so much. So
hell, you could probably say the entire third act is a great scene.
so good, dude.
Let's be honest. All right, Mike, what's your first question?
Lots of really great characters in this one. Which one stands out in this movie? You don't have to say in the entire Star Wars, just in this movie. Is there any one character that stands out?
That's tough, man. Turn that down. Jesus, man, that's tough. For me, it comes down to Luke and Han. To be honest, I'd probably say Luke. Just because honey, stop. I just loved Luke Skywalker growing up, and just seeing how he brings his father back. Again, I might have said Han before I had a son, but just that like father-son dynamic just really, really like hits home now. And Luke Skywalker is part of my childhood. Like you guys know that. So I would probably say Luke. It's really tough. There's so many good characters in the original Star Wars. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. I actually don't have a second question. For you. I don't really think you one. Jack, do you have one?
Yeah. Is there anything you don't like about this movie?
I know it serves the story, and this might sound sacrilegious, and it serves the story, and I know it completes his arc. I would have liked to see Vader survive. I think that would be very interesting. Not that I don't love the fact that he sacrificed himself pretty much. But again, if I had to, I would have loved to see if they could have ran with that. If he had survived and just kind of, so. But I mean, honestly, because most people would say the Ewoks are. Not for me. I don't mind the Ewoks whatsoever. They don't bother me, dude. Like, so yeah.
There have been several well-done fan fiction stories I've seen on YouTube from different channels where they actually do that what-if scenario. What if Vader did survive? They're very well done, and I would encourage you to look them up from like Stupendous Wade, Star Wars Theory. They've done great jobs with that topic.
So many great videos like that, Paulie. So many.
Mm-hmm. All right. Excuse me, my cat is begging for me to come in. So, Mike, what's your next question for Caleb while I let him in?
Oh, I know that feeling too well, trust me. All right. Last question. Simple enough. Lapti Neck or Jedi Rocks?
What was that, Mike? I didn't hear you. What was that?
Lapti Neck or Jedi Rocks?
Jedi Rocks.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, wow. I gotta do it. I know. So
I didn't see that one coming.
I gotta do it, man. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
All right, Caleb. You leave now, fur ball. All right, so Caleb, you're off the hot seat for now, but you'll be back on it soon enough. Okay, I guess I'm on now, and my number 10 is Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. So, Jack, I'm going to start with you on this. What's your first question for me?
Why is this one of your favorite Batman animated movies?
Well, it ain't for nostalgia, that's for sure, because growing up as a little kid, I actually didn't care much for Batman with the animated series. It wasn't until I was an adult that I appreciated how good it was. And that's to say this was a tough call because there have been a lot of amazing, not just live action, but animated Batman movies that have been absolutely amazing. Dark Knight Returns, Under the Red Hood. I think just this one, the fact that it's done by the same crew that did Batman the Animated Series, so there's that continuity level to it. And I also really there were just very memorable scenes in there that just hit me so hard emotionally. You really got a strong look at not really necessarily Batman's psyche, but really Bruce's psyche. You really find out what makes this guy tick, and it's very powerful stuff. So I think that's why. All right, Mike, your first question.
All right. Well, I won't ask you who your favorite voice cast of it because Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, please.
I mean, come on now.
But what was your thought about Dana Delaney as the Phantasm?
Oh, that was her. Lois Lane was the Phantasm.
Yeah. Yep. Dana Delaney.
All right, I'll just keep it short. I thought she did a great job, like everyone else did.
Yeah, all-star voice cast.
Yeah. All right, Caleb, what's your first question?
All right, so my first question was, I know you don't have nostalgia for this, so did you enjoy the mystery aspect of it, and were you able to figure it out?
You know, it's been a long time since I did enjoy the mystery aspect. I can't remember if I figured it out earlier or not, because it's been a long time since I've seen it. But to answer the first part of the question, yes, I enjoyed the mystery aspect of it quite a lot. And if I do end up seeing the new Robert Pattinson movie,
It looks really
movie,
good, man.
hopefully they focus on that pretty hard. Because admittedly, that is the one thing that's been missing quite a lot from the live action film. They haven't done too much of the detective stuff. We've seen like bits and pieces of it, but never a full thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So Jack, what's your other question?
Is there anything you don't like about the movie?
Ooh.
No.
Okay, short and sweet.
Just,
well, I like
no.
it.
Mike, your other question?
No other question.
Caleb?
All right, hold on, Paul. 1 second. I was looking at my other question. Okay. So, Paul, my other question is, why do you think that this movie, because it didn't make a lot of money when it was in theaters, but why do you think it's loved by fans so much nowadays?
You know, if I had to, I think it's because the animated series itself is remembered so fondly, but also because it is pushed so hard by the fan base. You know, when we think of like the best Batmans, we generally think of Michael Keaton or Christian Bale. Why not Kevin Conroy?
No, Kevin
when
Conroy.
When people debate the best Jokers, I think Jack Nicholson or Heath Ledger. And I think Joaquin Phoenix will enter the mix at some point. Why not Mark Hamill? You know, I mean, when people talk about like one like definitive Batman adaptation, people clamor for it. I'm like, guys, we already got it.
You watched the show,
it had everything.
The Arkham games. Come on, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, we already got it back in like the animated series. I mean, it had the stuff from the comic books. It incorporated so many elements from the comic book, the Tim Burton film, and even a little bit of the campiness of the Adam West show. It had a little bit of all that, and it just mixed it in so perfectly, while at the same time being its own story.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, absolutely, I agree with you. Okay, cool, awesome.
All right, so I
have one more question if we have time, actually.
Make it quick.
What's your favorite scene from the movie?
You know, I think it's that scene where Bruce. Excuse me a moment. All right, so it's the scene where Bruce is at his parents' gravesite and he's like crying. You know, almost like he's saying, you know, I didn't expect to be happy. I'm sorry. You know, I'll do other things. And that really, and what it speaks to what I said earlier about really getting into Bruce's psyche and how, despite the fact that he knows it wasn't his fault, he still blames himself for his parents' death, and he feels he doesn't deserve to be happy. Like, being happy is, you know, committing a sin against his parents, and he feels horrible about it. It's like, wow, you know, what did you have to do to yourself to feel like you don't deserve happiness? That is just torture to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Great scene.
So I mean, I love that. That's why I love that scene.
Yeah, great scene.
So well done, and you got to applaud everyone from the writing staff to Kevin Conroy for making it so good.
Facts.
All right, so I'm off the hot. And a quick shout out to when Bruce first puts on the cowl, and you see Alfred go, "My God, that was chilling."
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm off the hot sheet for now. Number 10 is done. Let's move on to number 9. And Mike, I'll start with you on this one. Your number 9 pick was Captain America: Civil War. So Caleb, you're going to start this one off. What's your first question?
Oh, I loved coming up with questions for this one because I love this fucking movie. So, Mike, first, this is a very simple question. Are you Cap or are you Iron Man?
Ooh.
Like, what side you fall on?
Well, I love the fact that the movie, like, if you look at if you read the comic Civil War storyline, it is clearly painting Iron Man out to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
And Cap to be the good guy. What I liked about the movie is the fact that it actually made both sides to be, you can see both parts. But dude, I'm Cap all the way. Always has been, always will be.
That's such a great point, man, because like Tony knows that like he was, like mind controlled to do it, but you still killed his parents. You know what I'm saying? Like as someone who lost a parent, you're like, but you still killed my parents, dude. So yeah, great. I love it.
All right, Jack, what's your first question?
Is there anything you don't like about the movie?
Nope.
Same here, Mike. Nope.
Okay. I think I know the answer to the question, but maybe not. Of the two prominent new characters that were introduced in that film, which one got you more excited, Black Panther or Spider-Man?
Black Panther. 100% Black Panther.
Wow. Okay.
Well, no. Don't get me wrong. I love Spider-Man, but the fact that they actually gave Black Panther a full story arc in a movie that it wasn't his. He was a side character, and he still had a full story arc throughout the movie. So I love seeing Spider-Man in it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic intro for him. But Spider-Man didn't have a story arc.
I don't know.
Had a story arc.
I don't know, Mike. Under Roos. I mean, no, but yeah.
I'm not saying I hated the scenes. I'm just saying,
I know.
comparing the two, one had a story arc, one didn't.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Caleb, what's your other question?
Okay, this is my favorite question. I was thinking, I was like, oh man. So, hold on. So I was curious, Mike. Do you feel that Tony / Baron Zemo is justified in what they're doing? Because as we know, Baron Zemo was doing all this because of Sokovia and all the damage and how his family was killed. And then obviously Tony's doing it. So in your mind, are they justified for doing like what they're trying to do?
Baron Zemo. I think Baron Zemo's motives are justifiable, actually. Sokovia was pretty much destroyed, and they left. They didn't stick around to try and help. They left. But him doing it by victimizing Bucky, I don't think is the right way. He went about it the wrong way. But I fully understand why he did it, and I completely understand it. I think he did it. I think he was right for doing it, actually. But the way he did it was wrong. Very much wrong.
Okay. Jack, your other question is?
What's your favorite scene from the movie?
Airport scene.
Airport scene. I mean, it for me, it is possibly one of the greatest fight scenes in movie history.
Facts.
It flows from one fight to the next, to the next, to the next. It's a beauty of action storytelling, and it's just
Which fight is your favorite?
Yeah. Oh,
Jesus.
They all kind of flowed together. The fight, the prologue fight though between Bucky and Falcon against Spider-Man, that's accentuated by Bucky and Sam's excellent back and forth. You couldn't have done that sooner. Shut up.
All right. So my last question, and actually, I have two I really want to ask, but I can only pick one. So I'll go with this one. I think we're in agreement on this. That you kind of already answered this question, so I'll go with the other one. Despite this being one of the more serious toned Marvel movies, they still make time to have. They still manage to put in some good comedic moments, kind of shake things up, lighten things up. Did you have a moment that really made you smile or made you laugh?
A lot of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the one moment. I mean, all of the moments between Bucky and Sam are on that list, but my favorite one is just after Steve kisses Sharon, and he just looks back, and they're just like,
"Oh man, finally!"
It's like, yeah, you've been waiting 70 years for that, buddy.
I love that scene too so much.
That's such a good scene. Yeah, it's so funny, dude. Or the scene when he's I can't remember correctly, but isn't it when they open the van door and it's Amy and he's like this guy or like something like that, and it's like, okay.
And when he's like totally fanboying over Captain America, he's like, "Oh wow, you're fan. Oh hey, I know you too. You're cool. But wow, Captain America, wow."
So good, dude. Oh, so good.
If anyone has any more superpowers that they haven't admitted yet, please, now would be the time to tell us.
All right, very good. All right, Mike, you're off the hot seat. Jack, I'm putting you back on. Your number 9 pick is Wind River. So, Caleb, you're going to start this one. What's your first question for him?
So I've heard of this film, but I didn't really know much, so I had to research it. It says that there was it says that there was a mystery element. So did you enjoy the mystery element of the film?
Yes, I really enjoyed it. It had me going so long, trying to figure out what was going on.
Okay, cool.
All right. Mike, what's your first question?
I didn't look up this movie because I figured it'd be a good question. Quick 20-minute synopsis of what's this movie about?
It's been a while since I saw it, but I believe it's in Alaska by an Indian reservation, and gone missing, and Elizabeth Olsen and Jeremy Renner are sent to investigate and find out what happened.
Cool. All right, cool. Thank you.
All right. So, Jack, my first question is this. What was it about the movie that drew you to it? That made you think, oh, this looks interesting?
The cast.
Okay. Fair enough. Easy peasy.
Right. Yep. All right, Caleb, what's your other question then?
Well, building off Paul's last question, what is your favorite performance in the movie? Stop.
Elizabeth Olsen was really good in this. Like, she shocked me. This is I think this is like the only movie I've seen of hers outside of, the MCU at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So she was really incredible.
Awesome. Cool.
All right, Mike, what's your other question?
Was there anything about this movie you didn't like?
Not that I could think of.
Cool.
And I don't have another question for you. I got what I need from the Wikipedia synopsis. So, all right, Jack, you are good to go. So, Caleb, you're up next, and your number 9 is Wreck-It Ralph. So, Mike, why don't you start this one off? What's your first question for Caleb?
Why is it on your list?
See, okay, so here's the thing. And again, like I told you guys, I really struggled with 9 and 10, but then I thought, I was like, me and Elijah and my girlfriend Danielle actually watched this last week, and it's my favorite Disney movie of all time. And there's been 1,000 Disney movies, but anyone who knows me knows how much I love video games, how much I play video games, and just that aspect of the movie and the heartfelt nature and just Ralph, and Vanellope's relationship. Again, it's not so much like a parent, but like a big brother, like a little sister dynamic is just, it just like, speaks to me and just, hits that spot. And I've always loved this, ever since I saw it. And the soundtrack kicks ass. So
that it does. All right, Jack, what's your first question?
What did you think about the twist of who King Candy really was?
I mean, it's pretty obvious, but like the first time I saw it, I didn't even think about it because like they mentioned Turbo, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. But then it makes so much sense. But then it's like a character came from another game and rewrote a whole nother game. It's like, and nobody noticed. But you know what? I just kind of overlooked that kind of stuff. But I did enjoy it though. I I love a mystery aspect and why is it like this? And then when you see Ralph and he's at the lowest, like no one's gonna talk to him and yada yada yada, and then he just looks over and he sees Vanellope on the side of the game thing, and he's like, wait, what? And then it just all clicks. Like, wait, she's the main character, yada yada yada. So I really enjoyed it. So.
All right. So I think aside from my question is, aside from Ralph, who was your favorite character? Was it Vanellope or was it someone else?
Probably Jane Lynch's character, the army commandant. Her and Felix's relationship is so good. Like when she keeps punching him in the face, and he keeps fisting himself, and he's like, "Hit me!" It's like, oh god, whoa, okay, this is a little weird, but hey, I'm okay with it. Yeah, so probably her or Felix. Like they were pretty fun. So.
All right, Mike, what's your other question?
Oh, cool! I wasn't muted. I thought it was. Other than John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman, because they really stand out. Who do you think is your favorite voice actor
in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh man. Probably, I believe, Will Arnett as Felix. I just think I believe he did Felix, right?
No, Jack McBrayer did Felix.
Oh, okay, Jack McBrayer. Okay, I don't know why I said Will Arnett, but anyway. So probably the guy that did Felix. I really enjoyed him. I thought he played the role really well, and I liked the times when he was vulnerable and he didn't really know what to do because he's so used to things being a certain way, and you could tell the when Ralph is gone, he's like, I'm not sure what to do. I really enjoyed that. So over there.
All right, Jack, what's your other question?
What's your favorite scene from the movie?
Oh man. Oh man, it's tough, man. I mean, probably when he goes back. I mean, the end of the movie, and it just shows all of them, getting along and all having cake and accepting Ralph. Like, wow, Ralph is really important. He might break everything, but without him, we don't have a game. And that really is a really good message to show, hey, everyone's important, So yeah.
All right. My last question, it's pretty simple. I do know you are a massive gaming nut. Was there a gaming cameo that got you the most? Which cameo got you the most excited?
Oh man, I mean, Sonic's in there. I really like Sonic. Zangief is in there, but probably my favorite thing and the funniest thing to me was when you see Pac-Man, and as you see them leave therapy, it's actually the pit inside the Pac-Man machine. I really like that. So I thought that was funny. Honey, sit down.
Q-Bert for me is Q-Bert, absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So.
All right, Caleb, you are off the hot seat and you're done now. So I guess I'm up, and so my number 9 is Titanic. Jack, I think I'll start with you with this one. What's your first question?
Why is this on your list?
Yeah, why?
Well, it's not because I like it, that's for sure. Yeah, I admit I do not like this movie. In fact, I actually find it kind of insulting, to be honest with you. Insulting to the people who died on this ship that are at the forefront of this our love story. That being said, it is on my list because I respect it a great deal. I respect James Cameron's passion and effort that he put into making this movie, right? And you see all the things that he went through to get it done, from building an 800-foot miniature of the ship just for the sole purpose of sinking it, from buying thousands of pieces of china from the actual company that made the China pieces for the ship just for the sole purpose of smashing them as the ship sinks. That goes to show how much James Cameron cared about this movie, about wanting to get it right, about wanting to do justice to this story. So I respect this movie a great deal, and that's why it's on my list. It was a pure passion project, and you see it in every frame.
Okay.
All right, Mike, your first question is.
Well, first off, I'm glad you say you don't like this movie because I was really worried about you for a second there.
So I like the stuff about the ship itself, but when we're talking about the ship and the side characters, that I like. It's just Leo and Kate, great chemistry. I just don't like them in this. I just don't like the romance behind the tracks, friends of tracks.
Yeah, most of the characters on there are pretty unlikable. Who is your favorite side character though?
Probably Victor Garber as the ship's engineer because of just how much weight and gravitas he brought to every scene he's in, but especially the scene where he pretty much says, "No matter what we do, this ship is going to sink." And he was surrounded by a great cast of other side characters, from the captain to Mr. Ismay, and just that whole scene, and no music either to get in the way of it. It was just pure, just great actors turning in great performances. That scene is just bone chilling, and not just bone chilling, but soul chilling as well. And it deserves to be commended. So yeah, Victor Garber.
Victor Garber.
Caleb, your first question is.
Well, first I want to say, Paul, I hope when you're done watching this new movie, I hope it boots out Titanic if you don't even like the movie on your favorite movies list. But from what I'm getting, Paul, you said you respect the story and like the hard work from Cameron, but the characters in the movie just kind of make it, like, because I was going to ask what your favorite character was, but I might just ask that. So I only have one question, Paul, if that's okay.
Okay.
Why do you think the movie was so successful at the box office?
I mean, I don't know. Well, I think one thing, Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet do have amazing chemistry. I will give it that. Even though I didn't like the characters in it, they have amazing chemistry. You believe they love each other. And I think in real life they kind of do. Like, they probably should be married, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think, also the cinematography was incredible. The special effects were top notch, which ILM did it, so of course. But I think they also bought, how much James Cameron cared about getting this right, and I think that has something to do with it. Plus, the side characters were great, and when it did get to the ship, when it did talk about the Titanic, it was just brilliant storytelling.
It's crazy that a movie about the Titanic sinking made, I believe it made over $2 billion at the box office, right? In 99?
It made close to it, yeah.
Yeah, or like very close. That's just crazy to me to think about. But James Cameron just knows how to make money at the box office, apparently. So I respect it. So,
indeed. All right. So Jack, do you have another question?
I do. You said you don't like this movie. So, is there a scene that you hate the most?
The sex scene. The window. The hand on the window.
No, actually, it's kind of stupid, but it's when old Rose throws the heart of the sea into the ocean. Like, listen, just to be practical for a second, I know it doesn't mean that much to you, but I know you think, oh, you're being symbolic, giving the heart of the sea back to the. Do you have any idea how many starving kids you could have fed just by donating it or letting it go to auction for something? Like, come on, honey, seriously, just come on. What the hell? And in fact, I'm almost glad that they took out the deleted scene where you see like Bill Paxton, bless him, just go crazy when she does it, because. Yeah, I get the feeling. I know exactly how he felt. All right. Mike, do you have another question?
How much was Rose an asshole? The fact that when she died, she goes to the afterlife with this guy that she banged for like a couple of weeks, as opposed to her husband of many, many, many years.
Listen, you're asking the wrong person. Okay, I don't care for romance films. And, like I said, I found the fact that in front of this great, putting a story of a romance, overshadowing arguably the most tragic maritime disaster of definitely the 20th century, if not all time. That's just a giant middle finger to the 1,500 people who died. The stuff about the ship, you got right. I'd like to see a movie about that, but I didn't really care about the romance stuff. So you're asking the wrong person about that, I'm afraid.
I could actually think of one other nautical tragedy that might be more tragic, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, guys. So that is going to wrap up episode. That is going to wrap up episode 174 of our show. I want to hold on a minute. All right, so like I said, yeah, that's going to wrap up episode 174. This was a whole lot of fun talking about these movies, and I definitely look forward to the next one we do to see what else is on your list. And big thanks to the people who were involved in this. Jack, thank you for being here.
Yeah, a lot of fun talking some movies.
Mike, thank you for being here as well.
And always glad to be here.
All right, and he did get kicked out. I don't think he'll be back in time before we close it up. But thank you to Caleb for making the time to come back and be a part of this. And hopefully he will be a part of this for a long time going. So we will see you next time where we'll do picks 8 and 7 on our list. We look forward to doing those. We hope you'll watch that. Until then, have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.